Hey everybody, Garrett Claridge here. Today we're going to be checking out a factory JBL sound system that was once a stock upgrade in the Ford Explorer SUVs. Now when I bought this equipment at the local flea market, I had no idea just how old it actually was until someone looked up the model number for me and pointed out that this was used from 1991 to 1994. That's where it kind of caught my attention because the older stuff is typically better and well, 1991 is when I was born, so this could very well be as old as me, right? After cleaning a bit of grease off all this stuff, I actually did find a date written on the side of the black amplifier here that was reading June 8th, 1993. Now this is the moment I gave myself a bit of deja vu because when I did a Google search for the 2003 Ford Explorer, I was instantly reminded of those green tour cars from Jurassic Park, you know? They were the exact model of cars they used on that movie, and this amplifier and subunit would have been under the back window by where the night vision goggles were stored. The 4-door speakers have a 6x8 inch frame, 1 1/4 inch soft dome tweeter, and a 4-inch mid-range cone, as well as a nicely sealed cabinet. Originally there was metal grills on the tweeter domes, but they were crushed in when I got them. The mids have a plastic grill, but it's become pretty brittle over time. Now for the subwoofer, it's only a 6.5 inch driver in this molded plastic cabinet here, and it's actually made pretty well. See, tapping anywhere on the side, there's not much resonance at all. If there's none. It's solid as heck. Now you might notice there's 2 amplifiers on this thing. We have the 4-channel that's dedicated for all the door speakers. That's going to increase your headroom and clarity by a ton, compared to like a stock head unit, right? And then this other amplifier here, that's just for the bass. So this is just a monoblock that's powering that subwoofer driver. I'm still not totally sure if this is speaker level or line level input on here. And I don't even know if these amplifiers are going to work yet, but hopefully. My intention was definitely to blow this stuff up. And don't worry, this subwoofer is going to get blown up today because I took a little peek inside here. You can see a little bit of foam rot, so that's going to need to get replaced. I am a fan of JBL stuff, don't get me wrong. There's actually a big pile of stuff right behind the camera. However, after messing with these mid-high speakers and checking out these amps a little bit, I kind of want to see if I can get this setup going again. Seemingly low power consumption, 12 volt stuff. I could transplant this in any vehicle, or maybe even use it as a boombox or something. Like, options are sort of endless. But really it all boils down to if I can get these amplifiers working again. I have no idea the last time they were powered on. And even if I can't get these amplifiers working, I still ended up with a nice pair of 4-ohm mids and highs and a cool little subwoofer enclosure. And if it comes down to it, I'm sure I can cut the mounting off. What the? Okay, I'm going to have to open that up before I put power to it. Good thing I did that. I don't know what the hell's shaking in there. I just don't want to plug anything in without knowing what the heck's going on. Something was in here. Oh. It's just a chunk of plastic. Where is it? What are you from? I don't think it was conductive, whatever it was. But if you ever hear crap shaking around in something, don't plug it in. This doesn't even have a fuse, I don't think. Oh man, that thing's rusted out. That's insane. Let's see what this woofer looks like. I'm excited. Not a very tight screw on that. And the plastic's brittle on this too. I don't want to wreck the woofer. Not yet, anyway. Ooh. What the frig? Wow. Quite the surround on there. Whatever's left of it. So as for the wiring of the amplifiers here, I already labeled them the best I could figure out and capped them off with various connectors here to keep them from shorting out when I do my test. So instead of a car battery, I'm going to be using this computer power supply. It's 300 watts, and the advantage to this is, for testing anyway, If anything shorts out, this will just turn off instead of lighting a fire with a battery, right? Okay, I think I've got this hooked up. Kind of funny there's no remote line on the subwoofer amp. How does it know? See, yeah, we got no lights. Just this power supply one. Oh! I shut the power supply off and the woofer jumped. Turn it on again. So something's happening here. We'll try the inputs. Oh, yes. Oh. Duh. Perfect. That is obviously doing stuff. I mean, I gotta figure out an input, but that's moving. That's funny. And the power supply stays on. I'm gonna have to plug in the satellite speakers and see if that does anything. It must work, because only 2 of these wires make it buzz. Like, it's definitely a dedicated channel. Man, I can't believe this works. I gotta figure out how to make this make noise. Other than flappy friggin' wires here. Oh yeah. Okay, this is coming from the TV and it's playing The Simpsons. Oh yeah, on switch. Got things. This is the one that got plugged in, I think. Okay, just from the RCA.
For a turned American, now working for Russia, codename Grey Fox. In World War II, he served with the fabled Flying Hellfish, the only unit that served in the Pacific, European and Grauman's Chinese theatres. Now, Grey Fox lives in a small...
Okay. That's cool. I don't know how I could possibly... I gotta make a connector, man, because... Okay, wow.
I want it. It was my friend. I should get it.
Louise hated your gun.
I really can't believe this old rusty hunk of crap works. Kinda. It's blowing foam. Whoops. And poor old deaf Lillian sleeping right through it.
Hey man, you're shaking it all wrong.
But shaking it's all I know.
Shh. Let me show you how it's done. Oh yeah. Yeah. Woo.
Okay, so it's been about 3 days since I last did a recording. I am very easily distracted, but really I was having a very hard time wiring up the signal part of this amplifier. It was driving me absolutely insane, and I tried a little bit of everything and it just kept on going wrong. I was going to throw this stuff into the scrap heap, but I'm glad I didn't, because now it is working very good. And what I had to do is actually, So the main reason I was so confused about the signal input wiring about this is I looked up the wiring diagram, like the actual manual to this, and what was labeled as negative wiring was actually positive in like terms of what's standard on other audio equipment. So the wiring looks really rough right now, but that's just because when I first wired this up, I did a really good job, you could say. I used all shrink tubing and soldered it up with RCA cables here. But the first time I melted the RCA cables, right? Using cheap ones. The second time I did it, it was of course wired backwards. So now I'm going, what the heck's wrong with this, right? I took it apart again and started poking around with it. Now I have this mess. It's working clearer than any of the other options did, and I'm just not going to touch it right now because I'm done with that. A couple things I noticed when I was messing around with these things, the rear speakers come in a little bit quieter. I don't know why, but that was kind of funny. That was another thing that was driving me nuts. I was thinking that one channel was coming in lighter than the other, but no, it was just the rear channels doing that. Another thing I noticed about these amp modules is you have absolutely no control over them. Like if you wanted to turn the subwoofer down, you have to use the bass control on your head unit radio. Other than that, you have left and right balance and then the front and back fading. But that's really all you have. And as we know from before, the signal is cranked all the time. So you don't want to be plugging this in with the thing on. So I know from playing with these mid and high speakers with other amplifiers that they actually have a high pass going on them. Like they don't put out too much bass. And I'm actually not too sure if this 4-channel amp is putting out a high pass filter as well, or if it's actually running full range and then the high pass just happens passively in these door speakers, right? Because it might be a little more efficient if we have the high pass happen here, but again, you can't control nothing. So I'm going to test the amp with a different speaker. I'm going to be putting a 10 Hertz tone through the system here, and if this speaker flaps around, then I know that this 4-channel amp is putting a full range signal out. Give her. Oh yeah. This speaker ain't doing nothing. So this is interesting. I have that cone flapping around there on the subwoofer, and I can actually see where the cutoff is here. The cone, oh man, I'm gonna turn this down. All right, so what that experiment just taught us is this amplifier is actually using a high pass filter that's doing 100 Hertz and above. It seemed to do a really good job about it too, because I had my hand on the cone, and as soon as the number hit 100 Hertz, I started feeling some tone happening through this. I absolutely love how this little 300 watt power supply seems to power this stuff just perfectly without, like, there's a little LED indicator light on here and I've never seen it dim or nothing, like, just wild. I took the broken grill part off. I don't even know if I need this part. I still haven't opened this up yet, like it's glued in there or whatever. I don't know what it looks like. Grab a screwdriver and pry that thing out. I was kind of expecting more, I think. I mean, that's pretty much the size of the magnet that's inside these satellite speakers here. What kind of sorcery is that thing? I've never seen a wire terminal like that. It's like a locking terminal. I'm sorry, I gotta show you this thing. It's cool. I was having a hard time pulling the terminal off and couldn't figure out why. You gotta hit the friggin' tab, man. That's cool. I have never seen that. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this woofer. Oh, sorry, I'm doing the one hand thing here. Not too much going on inside the cabinet. Bit of a foam gasket and little metal, I forget what you call these. That's pretty cool. Oh, Yeah, we have a 1-inch voice coil on there. That's actually a smaller voice coil than the dome tweeters, if you think about it. I do get a kick out of how much X-Max this thing has, like excursion. Oh yeah, this thing's also covered in red and silver glitter somehow, so that's fun. Grab the paint marker. This is just so we can see the movement of the cone a little better. It's hard for the camera to focus on something like this. Man, this thing is so dirty, the marker is having a very hard time. I could just see dust flying everywhere in here. Now you definitely don't hear too much of the bass without the cabinet working or the foam on there to seal that cabinet up. So what does it sound like with a different subwoofer? Oh, I covered the wire, duh. Yeah, there we go. That was definitely just the subwoofer not performing. Okay, so I think I spent enough time messing around with this stuff here. I'll put that away and we're going to focus on the woofer for now. I'm going to grab a bigger power amplifier and of course we're going to see just how much juice we can stick through this. Got a ton of wires to unhook here, but at least I labeled everything really damn good this time, so it won't be a problem to put back together later. So I think I mentioned it before, but I would like to keep these mid and high speakers, although I am going to show you what's inside them. To get in them, we have little screws along the back side of the frame here. Now after this, they are glued together. You have to pry them out. Do it pretty slowly. The glue will just sort of let go. Here we can see the inside of the enclosure with a bit of sound dampening at the back. So the mid-range magnet is pretty big. As I was saying, it's just like the subwoofer magnet. Almost. Subwoofer is a bit thicker, but really? That's what blew my mind there. Now the crossover board here looks more like something you might see inside of a home audio speaker cabinet. Very well made components. Usually in a speaker like this you just see one of these little capacitors used for the tweeter, and that's it. So this has a lot of different components. It's a nice crossover. Now lifting this board, it exposes our tweeter. Check that thing out. Now that is pretty awesome. I can't get over how big these magnets are. This is a heavy speaker. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to come in a little closer. Whoops. Plugged into the wrong amp channel. Something went on there. Like jumped out. I thought I was getting shocked. Oh. What the frig is going on here? Oh. There's your problem. The cone totally fell off the voice coil. That's unreal, man. It's like they made this so that they were just able to toss everything together. That old glue definitely didn't stand much of a chance when it came to that big power amplifier feeding it. So I got the coil out. It looks a little damaged, but we might be able to wire it back up. I got the leads pulled out of here, and I kind of stripped out the coating on them. Actually, before I go any farther, I'm going to see if this actually is still connected together here. This thing is going to tell us if the coil's intact or not. Hard to hold that thing in place. So yeah, we definitely have continuity, and that's just telling me that this coil isn't broken yet. Okay, now you won't be able to hear anything, but I'm able to put the signal through the coil, and you're going to actually see what happens to the coil when it's in the speaker overreacting. I have my computer speakers on as well, so you can hear what is going through here. It's vibrating, man. That's cool. Okay. Get this before it goes off. Man, that's a lot of smoke. So after letting the air clear out of this place a little while, this is what we're left with. Absolutely scorched it. Well, that's about it for the JBL 6.5-inch subwoofer here. If you enjoyed today's content, be sure to give the video a like, drop a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have yourself a great day.